Thank you for joining me today. Let's begin, my friends. When we're ready for meditation, most important part is that we can find somewhere that we can be comfy. So I don't have any special setup. I just have my yoga mat on a hardwood floor. I use a cushion from my couch, and I've switched recently from an old favorite blanket to this really soft little rug. And I tell you that because you can do meditation on a subway train, you can do meditation in a busy city, in a crowded house. There's no way it has to be done. So I do try to ask you to step away from your computer if that's possible. We're going to let go of things that brought us up to this point in today. So it's nice to actually physically step away. If that's not possible, I understand. Stay there. But try to get your feet on the floor. Really preferably with no socks on, but it's very cold in my basement, so I'm going to keep mine on today. And the more grounded we can get, the more we can draw up from Mother Earth, the more we can feel connected to something else. Hopefully, the more we'll also be able to release. And once you've arrived, if you're cool, wrap yourself up in something very cozy and comfy. We want to get so comfy that we can stay a while, but not so much so that we drift off. Let's begin with a bit of neck movements and shoulder movements to really come to our meditation spot comfortably today. Fingertips, just your fingertips to the back of your head here, and lift up as tall as you can, like your fingertips are pulling you skywards. Allow your shoulders to relax, but then tuck your chin to your chest and walk your fingertips a bit more behind your head so you feel a bit of pressure, stretching between your shoulder blades, relaxing and lengthening through the back of your neck. Let's rise eyes back forward, please, and then walk your left hand over to your right temple, stretching your right arm out, or you can softly rest it. Drop your right ear to the right side, again, making sure we're seated tall and long in our spines. Feeling erect in the spine, but not stiff or rigid. Coming back to neutral, switching sides. Right arm finds the left side of our face. We can even cradle our head right in that arm, but if that feels too intense, just use your fingertips. Left hand down or possibly resting. I like to reach mine out to get a nice neck stretch. Releasing hands, bringing nose back to neutral. And then find a soft spot for your arms where you feel resting comfortably through the shoulders, where you feel heavy and loose in your elbows, your wrists, and your fingers. If you're feeling overstimulated this morning, I recommend hands down, feeling more of that grounding. But if you're a bit sluggish and you need energy, let's meet with palms up. And as much as you're able, if you feel safe, close your eyes. Let's think of our eyes as the windows to the world. So if you wanted to shut out the world in your house, you would close your curtains or your shutters. Let's do the same. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, just soften your eye gaze. Close them into little slits. I like to look down. I go right down the bridge of my nose to an unmoving, soft point on the floor. And then once there, I close just until everything becomes a little blurry and unfocused. Even if you start here, it may feel more comfortable as you connect to your breathing for you to completely close your eyes and immerse yourself internally and on the breath. Beginning our practice today with 3 big inhalations through your nose, and then open your mouth and sigh. Let that breath go. Twice more like that with a big sigh. Notice what your body is doing, rising on the inhalations, and then feeling heavier and about sinking, a bit of letting go here as you exhale. One more time like that, but let's hold this beautiful posture, the length through your spine. Exhale through everything but your spinal column. Chin tucks into chest a tad. Back of neck lengthens, and we rest softly here. Inviting in a sense of calm as we begin our practice this morning. And that may be a beautiful thing to try. Repeat that word to yourself, calm. It can be mentally repeated or out loud. Calm. Calm. I'd like to congratulate you on carving the time in your schedule to commit to your self-care. Please remember and remind yourself frequently that you are worth this quiet moment. You are worth the deep breaths we have taken and will continue to take. You are worth the time it takes to slow down, be still, and rest. Breathing in and calming your mind. Breathing out and calming your body. Let's promise ourselves today that we will meet anything that arises, whether those be sensations, thoughts, or emotions, with kindness and acceptance. Presence is being aware of what's happening in our bodies. We're noticing it. That is our goal. Feeling the sensations of our breath, hearing noises around us, and feelings that arise within you. It's not to block any of that from happening. It's to notice it, to feel it, and then just as quickly to let it pass. Big breath in as softly as you can. Notice your body's response, floating more open in the heart and chest space. Exhaling, softening back, possibly feeling heaviness coming into your thighs. Tailbone resting a bit more heavily. Try that one more time. I love feeling the connection to my heartbeat. We feel the rhythm. We might feel it pulsing as we breathe in, feeling that energy. Exhaling and release. And as we progress through our breathing, feeling like we need to breathe with our mouth open is always okay, but let's try today to keep our lips sealed for the rest of our exhalations, keeping all of our blood flowing really beautifully inside as we continue to reconnect with our breath. Now, our meditation today will be breath-centered, and what you'll notice after a few breaths is that to-do lists, things creep into our minds, thoughts and emotions, and that is very normal, and it probably will continue for as long as we practice. When our thoughts arise, we have that open sense of curiosity and compassion. Think about your thoughts as guests coming into your home, maybe for one of the upcoming holidays, how you would treat them with compassion and kindness. There's a beautiful poem by Rumi called The Guest House. I love using this poem to remind myself that these thoughts that come in during our breath-centered meditation are very normal, and I recommend treating them as guests. Let's take another big, beautiful breath in. And a long, slow, lips closed if possible, exhalation, really feeling the soothing nature of our out-breath. The guest house. This, being human, is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of all of its furniture, still treat them as honorable guests. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Inhaling, accepting any of our guests with open arms, loving, compassionate kindness, and then exhaling and send them on their way. My favorite part of that poem is when an unexpected crowd of sorrows comes in and it feels a little violent, a little turbulent. It doesn't feel welcome, but then who knew? It might be sweeping you clear of all of the clutter for some new surprise, some new delight to have the room to come in. That's how we think about our meditative thoughts. We acknowledge them, and then we breathe and let a little bit or all of them dissipate or leave completely. Each time we practice coming back to our breath, we train our minds to pull away from habitual thoughts, habitual patterns, habitual worries. This is the practice, the coming back. Never feel frustrated that something has distracted you because you became present, you noticed it, you brought yourself back, and this is what translates to greater life as a whole. We notice what we're doing that we aren't appreciative of or we don't admire in ourselves, and we pull back or we stop that pattern altogether. Reconnecting with your breath. Inhale slowly, confidently. I love feeling that sense of confident posture that builds on inhalations. And then exhale fully, softly and slowly. As we practice together this coming back to our breath, we essentially are creating new pathways in our brain every time we come back to our breath. Healthy new pathways that will enable us to navigate difficult situations. It's a beautiful gift and a big goal of us meditators to become aware when we get lost in our thoughts, and then we kindly and gently redirect our attention back to our breath. Inhaling, full inspiration. Maybe even feel the pores on your scalp opening, your hair follicles widening to this beautiful in-breath. Exhale, release, sitting a bit more deep into your comfortable surroundings. Right here, right now, knowing that there's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, you deserve this time. Are you able to find a sense of peace, a feeling of peace, a sliver of peace in this moment, just as it is, knowing we can change nothing about the past, and it's senseless to try to control how the future will play out. Find peace in this present moment. My second really beautiful poem that I'd like to share with you is one entitled Peace by Dorothy Hunt. Breathing in and breathing out. Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. That one deserves a sigh. That one feels so good. It kind of gives me tingles thinking about how we can drop in quickly with practice to the sense of perfect peacefulness and contentment in our moment. Reconnecting with our breath, inhaling here and exhaling when you're ready. For the next few moments, let's continue breathing and see if you can softly, kindly scan through your body from the tips of your toenails all the way to the fingernails, through your body, front and back, top and bottom, inside and outside. Scan through and see if there are any areas that need a little TLC. Could be something physical or mental. And if your breath can nurture it for at least 3 breaths, try focusing on that area. I also really like to hold it. So if it's just something in your heart that's really hurting you these days, or if it's a physical pain somewhere in your body, or even holding your head softly like you would with a loved one if something mental is making you feel really sad or like you're having struggle. We can feel it physically. We can breathe into it. And for this practice, when I find an area that's in need of TLC, I like to envision 2 threads of breath coming in the nostrils. These threads are our favorite color, but our most favorite relaxing, calming color. As you're breathing in these 2 threads of breath, they tend to gravitate towards that spot of tightness, that spot of tension or trauma or unrest, dis-ease. As you exhale, your color darkens. It could darken so much so that it's like a puff of black smoke leaving your body. Your goal would be to target that tight, tense spot as many breaths as necessary until both your in and out breath colors are that same beautiful, calming color for you. Now, this is a practice that could take much longer than our time together, but it's a beautiful practice to cultivate. Seeing the breath, feeling it, knowing it's calming, nurturing, and full of TLC. And exhaling, releasing. Visually, seeing that tension leave your body. Reconnecting with your breath as you move and scan through. When we encounter these feelings, sensations, thoughts, or emotions of tightness, drop in a little further. Allow them to dissipate as quickly as you noticed them today, just piece by piece, removing the tension from our bodies. Please remember, as Rumi suggests in the guest house, to meet them, all these sensations that we may quickly label as troubling, meet them with acceptance. Greet them as your guests. And then just like it's sometimes nice to see our loved ones, our visitors go, we do the same with the intention that we have here. It's time for you to leave. You may notice that these sensations, even in our one practice here, come and go frequently. So let's encourage ourselves to be open-minded and curious as to the patterns of their movement. And we can sit with and stay with these sensations as long as they are calling us for attention. If there are any strong emotions associated with these tight spots, they're moving through our body with the breath. Allow ourselves to feel those too. Be present with them. Accept them. Let's recognize that holding these experiences with kindness can absolutely be difficult and challenging. It might even seem ludicrous to you that you could hold something that's been a difficult spot in your life, your body, or your mind with kindness. Anytime that we get caught up in a storyline or anxious thinking, let's take a note. We literally mark that down as worry or stress. Note it and then return right back to our bodies and our breath. Reconnecting on an in-breath. Unclenching jaw, softening facial features on your exhalation. We notice the stories that are arising in our narrative, but then we step out, we step back, we step away from the stories and back into our body, back into that sense of presence, peace, as Dorothy Hunt quotes, in this moment without judgment. Breathing in, breathing out. Trying to soften and become a bit more easy in our breath as we go. Unclenching the corners of our eyes, softening down those storylines. letting our brows unfurrow so our skin on our faces feels smooth, heavy, and relaxed. Loosening the hinge of your jaw, and imagine your tongue, or feel your tongue resting heavily on the back of your bottom teeth as you slip in a bit further. Acknowledging that as difficult as it can be, we can be with these emotions, these sensations, and these feelings. We can open ourselves up to the thoughts that are coming and going, and therefore we are not ruled by our thinking. Instead, we're bringing a calm awareness to it and allowing anything that's not serving us to release. One of my favorite quotes on peace is that peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, no trouble, or hard work. Peace means to be in the midst of all of these things and still be calm in our hearts. For me, that is the definition of meditation. All of the chaos, everything is going on, but our practice is dropping in, locating, embracing, lengthening, and softening our breath, and finding peace in the present moment. As we begin to close our practice together, I would like to introduce what I call the 5-finger meditation. That's a wonderful tool for stressful occasions. So you may want to blink your eyes open here. We are going to use our hands. I just wanted to show you my fingers. We're going to be pressing our thumbs towards our fingertips. And as you do, you're welcome to reclose your eyes. Everyone is muted. If you'd like to repeat the words aloud, that's wonderful and encouraged as well. Reset yourself up in your beautiful meditation posture, erect, proud, and confident in your spine. Softly focusing your gaze back down and closing your eyes if that feels wonderful to you. Pressing our thumb and our pinky fingers together. As you inhale and exhale, repeat the word peace. Press your ring finger and your thumb together on your next in and out breath. Repeat the word begins. Middle finger and thumb press strongly together. Our word to repeat as we breathe in and breathe out is with. Thumb and index finger press together. Your word is me. Squeeze your entire fist together. Squeeze as tight as you can to pull our mantra into every single cell of our bodies. Our mantra is peace begins with me. Breathe in, squeeze, and take it deep into your cells. And as you exhale, open your palms, spread your fingers wide like you could shoot your intention, your mantra out to everyone in this world who so desperately needs it. Exhaling, peace begins with me. Softening your fingertips. Relanding hands and arms as it feels best for us to come back together in breath. Breathing in softly, but feel the widening, feel the lifting, feel the opening, feel lightness coming into areas that were previously tight and dark. On your exhalation, feel that sinking sensation, lulling you down into a deep rest. My hope for you today is that with a breath-centered practice of life, you are able to go forth offering loving, balanced energy with no expectations and not of thinking that I need to be receiving anything in return. And that may be just for yourself. See yourself, offer yourself loving, balanced energy with no expectation in return. Or on a broader scale, it could be using our breath to greet everyone we see with more balanced energy and love. To officially close our practice together, if it feels right for you, bring your hands to your heart center. I like to try to put my thumbs right up against my heartbeat. Sometimes you need to rise your chest to really feel connected to your heartbeat, and take a big breath and notice how your chest opens into your hands. A long, slow exhalation, feeling that release. Tucking your chin towards your thumbs in a sign of gratitude for the commitment you've made to your health and wellness today. I would like to thank you so much for sharing your meditation practice with me and allowing you to guide you through some beautiful poems and our 5-finger mantra meditation, Peace Begins With Me. I hope that you've enjoyed. I can't wait to see you next week. And my light is inspired by, humbled by, and grateful for your light. Namaste, my friends.